Today we are going to be talking about some possibilities that I might use for 5th grade. Welcome to this House of Walls. My name is Ashley and I love to share all things secular homeschooling. It's February. It's kind of time, at least for me, that I start thinking about curriculum for next year. At this point, we are going to be finishing at the end of May, and then we take about 6 weeks off and start back up in July. You know, it's time to kind of start piecing some possibilities together. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I have had, a little note on my phone of possibilities of curriculum. Honestly, since December, that's just what I like to do. As we get more into our curriculum and our school year for our current year, I kind of get ideas of what could work or won't work for the following year, and it changes a lot. What I am talking about today could still change a lot. And I don't have everything nailed down. Definitely not. I am not even close to that. I still have to do some more research and things like that. I have a curriculum sprawled out in front of me to just kind of help walk through some things. I also have Millie off to the corner here. She is keeping me company. Let's start with just our absolute givens. Writer's Workshop by Layers of Learning. We are really enjoying this curriculum and will be continuing with this next year. There are so many choices in here that you can pick new choices every single year and never repeat anything. So that's kind of my thought process, is we're going to start over. We're not going to make it through everything this year. All the units, there's a lot, and we're just not going to do that. Start over for next year. So I still want to do the, what do they call it? Jumpstart, and that just helps set up our notebooks and go over the writing process again, everything like that. And then possibly the second unit, which is sentences, paragraphs, and narration, because I think that just reiterating some of those tools that we can use for writing sentences and paragraphs and how to narrate things is good to have. Beyond that, we will probably then skip to the end and cover the things that we didn't get to, and then maybe go back and do other units that we enjoyed and would like to just kind of dive a little bit deeper into. So that's my game plan for writing. Not a surprise, we are doing 4th grade Math with Confidence this year, and we will absolutely be doing the 5th grade level. We love it. He has been doing this since 1st grade, I believe. Yeah, since 1st grade. It's a given. It is math that doesn't trick your kid. It's straightforward, amazing stepping stones that nothing feels like it's been a leap to get to so far. It is getting harder as we're getting through it, but math is hard. We are definitely going to be sticking with Math with Confidence. I don't know what we will do after 6th grade, but we're going to definitely use it for 5th grade. Let's get into some language art. Start with the smaller stuff. Handwriting. He has been using Handwriting Without Tears for quite a few years now. It is his favorite. I think maybe 2 years ago, we tried another one because we just weren't ready for the cursive levels for Handwriting Without Tears yet. And he did not like it. So we are definitely sticking with this as long as we can. He has that much left. I don't know that he will finish this book this school year, but that's not a problem because I still have last year's book that he didn't totally finish. You can see that little bit there he didn't finish. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we will just start the school year with these before I get another one. Imagine that, using what we have. And you'll kind of see that in some of our things that I'm going to be talking about. We're going to be trying to kind of use what we have. I'm not going to let these go to waste. We will finish both of these before I get another one, and then we'll just move on. Let's see, another thing that we are definitely going to be keeping is sequential spelling. We just started this year, and we are 56 days into it. There's 180 days and multiple like review. I think every 40 lessons? I can't remember, but there's a review. So it's even more than 180 days. I knew that we weren't going to be finishing this in a year. We don't do this 5 days a week. We do it 3 days a week right now. And other times of the school year, we've only done it 2 days of the week. But we like it. It is not a big, huge, like bright, colorful program that's like has manipulatives and things like that. It is lists every single day. That's it. And so I sit there and read the lists off and he spells it and then we move on. But the words build off of each other. So we start with like a new list of words and like the basic kind of root word of it, and then we build onto those words. And so I really like it. He likes it. We're going to keep with that. The next is something I don't believe we are going to continue, at least with my rising 5th grader, and that is word roots. He doesn't like it. This is one of those, it's kind of like busy work. And that's why like we moved to sequential spelling. Like, let's just learn it and move on kind of thing that he wants. And this isn't. I don't know what we're going to put in its place. I would like him to continue doing some vocabulary. I don't know what it is that I'm needing. Something not busy work, maybe a little hands-on, but not fluffy. And I don't know if anything like that exists. I mean, this isn't fluffy, but it does get repetitive. So I don't have the answer for this one yet. And you'll see that in some of our curriculum. I don't know what we're using yet. It'll be something. Oh, I forgot to mention also with handwriting. We are going to also be starting typing. I know that he has a good foundation for handwriting now, and so I want to bring in some typing. I will probably just start him off on typing.com. It's a free program. He can work his way through that, and then we'll figure out something else if he needs something else. And then grammar. Yeah, let's talk grammar. So we have been working through Beowulf's grammar this year, and we're really liking it. He likes all the different activities that go with it, cutting and pasting and just worksheets and comic strips and stuff like that. So this is definitely going to be staying. We are only getting halfway through this curriculum this year, and then we're going to be doing some of the review worksheets towards the end of the school year. So after that, we will be set to go for next year and finish this out. I do kind of have in my mind what we will do next. Sneak peek, probably pulling out first language lessons level 4, because I think that there's some really good memorization that happens in that level that even my 8th grader is still using. And I think that it's such a good program that using it for 6th grade then won't be a problem. That is way jumping ahead and just kind of mental planning in my brain. For 5th grade, we are definitely going to continue on with Beowulf's grammar. It has worked. Let's talk about readers and like read alouds, that kind of stuff. I am not exactly sure what we're doing yet. And that comes in with our history and science. Still, I haven't quite decided if I'm going to be continuing Build Your Library with him for next level or doing some other things. It's not Build Your Library, it's one of the main resources used. Because of that, I don't know if we will be pulling some of the readers and literature from Build Your Library or we just come up with our own. Honestly, a lot of this year, well, he's been doing definitely the readers for Build Your Library, but the literature portions, like we've done some of them, but we have also branched out and just read books that we want to read. And we've really enjoyed that. So I'm not positive that we would even use the literature books from Build Your Library. So that is definitely still up in the air. I know that on my shelves, I could go and pull off a year full of books for us to read, and we would be set. Do I save the money and just go that way or try and tie in some of Build Your Library? I'm not quite sure. So let's just lead into Build Your Library. So this year we are working through level 3, and I have talked extensively how I have just kind of reworked the schedule for our house. We are enjoying it. we like it. I like the extra things that Emily is able to put in here. But one thing that I am just not sold on is Story of the World. I like the well-trained mind. You know, I stand behind their grammar things. I love math with confidence. I am finding their history lacking in diversity. Let me specify that. In diversity. This is extremely Eurocentric with some Asia popped in, and I would like more. What is happening in South America during all of this time? I don't know if we have covered South America at all. Yeah, I don't think we have. Like, even we talked about Captain James Cook and going to New Zealand and Australia, but it was on the European side of it. Yeah, what did that look like for them? Meanwhile, I want to know more about the Aboriginal people there. Tell me about them. Tell me about their experiences. How were they living? Things like that I think is important to see both sides of the history, and we're not getting that with Story of the World. So level 4 of Build Your Library goes on to book 4 of Story of the World for, I think, just modern times. This is early modern times, so it's just modern times. And I don't know that that's the route that I want to go. I miss History Quest. We used all 3 levels of their History Quest. It's amazing. You get all kinds of different perspectives and histories that should be taught more and are not Eurocentric. This, while it hasn't been bad, I don't think it's the best. So where does that leave us? Between just like, let's just stick with Build Your Library, it's good. Definitely love supporting Emily, but also maybe there's something else that could work better for us for history. I have been looking into Curiosity Chronicles. Back when we were choosing like ancient times history, it was between that and History Quest, and I just went with History Quest and it was a win. But we have done all of that and they don't have a modern times book. There's a modern bridge that you can get and it kind of fills that gap. I don't know that that would work for us either. So I have been doing research on Curiosity Chronicles. The problem is that the Modern Times book is pretty new, and so there's not a lot of like reviews for it. I can find all the videos and pictures and everything on Ancient Times. There's not a lot on the newest level for Modern Times. So again, I do know that it covers a wide variety of history, and you are not just following, Europeans as they are invading other people's lands. You are getting to know, like, who was there? And that's what I really want. That is a really strong contender right now. If you have any kind of input with that, let me know down in the comments. I do know that eventually the modern era of Curiosity Chronicles will be 3 volumes long, so it's going to take 3 years, like, really diving into all of that history. Right now, it's just the first one out, and I don't know when the second one will be out, so I don't know by the time that we get to 6th grade, then what do we do? Are we moving curriculums again? I mean, at that point, we could go back and do Build Your Library level 6 and do the second part of American history, because I already have that. So lots and lots of stuff up in the air with that, which means that also science is up in the air. If we do Build Your Library, a possibility is that we could do the science for Build Your Library. That's what we're doing this year. I have changed it a little bit, but that's just me making it harder on myself. We could absolutely just continue doing Build Your Library science. Or this keeps popping up, but it's a well-trained mind. This is biology for the logic stage. We have this. I had it for my oldest and it just didn't quite work for him at that time. And so I just set it aside and held on to the teacher pages. I could absolutely just get the student pages and be done, because like I have 2 of the books. Let me grab them. So I have 2 of the main spines for biology for the logic stage. We did have another one it got lost. And so I would have to repurchase that one. And then I think that there's another like human body book that I would need if we got to like the human body lessons. I have it. I would just have to purchase. I don't think I can just get the student pages on their own. I think that I have to get like, it's a bundle for PDFs for the teacher pages and student pages, but it could work. I mean, I like the multi-dimensional approach to this science. There's a little bit of memorization, there's vocabulary, there's some experiments, which I'm not great at. I do think I can get a science kit, so I need to look at that more. I think that just having all of the supplies here and handy will make it a lot easier for me. Science is not my strong suit at all, and so if I can make it as easy as I can for myself, that's what I need to do. There are 2-day and 5-day lessons. You know, right now we're only doing science 1 day a week. It will probably just stay that way, but I could easily, you know, combine and just do that. A lot is up in the air with that. I could also outsource science. I know that my rising 5th grader has way more interest in science than I have ever had and wants a ton of science. Do I just outsource it and call it a day? It's a possibility. We have done stuff like that before, and he had a lot of fun with it. So we will see. I think what it will really come down to is, am I going to do Build Your Library Level 4? And that will kind of set us up for a whole variety of things. Then what readers and literature are we going to do? What science are we going to do? All of that is tied on my plan for Build Your Library. I'm going through, I have a list here. So I think I have covered all of it. Yes, I have. It's always fun to sit down and plan. That is my favorite part, is the kind of planning and pieceworking and everything like that. Of course, sitting down and implementing it with my kids is fantastic, but it's also fun to just kind of plan it out and figure all of it out. I will be back April, I think is when I usually do it, and have curriculum. April or May. It depends. Depends how quickly I can get things together once I start kind of making plans. I am definitely going to be shopping curriculum sales for anything else that we need to buy and include. Luckily, you know, we've been doing this 5 years now, so we have a nice little stockpile of things. We're going to continue with our grammar. We're going to keep going with our writing. I have science that we could do. And so it's really nice that I could absolutely, you know, just have to purchase like 1 or 2 curriculums and use everything else that we have already. So that's a really good possibility to have. On that note, I'm gonna go chug my coffee. I have a cute new little cat mug. And I will be back for the high school video. That's my next video that I'm going to do. I put a poll up and asked, you know, usually I do my 2 kids combined, but with my oldest going into high school next year, I asked if people wanted it separate, and they did, and I agree. It's way different than what I have been talking about here, so it will be in the next video. As always, if you like this or anything else that I post here on this channel, make sure to like and subscribe down below, and I will be back for more soon.